We all need it. We can't live without it. Water is the single most important resource on the earth, yet 2.2 million people die from diseases they catch from it every year. So let's explore the topic of waterborne diseases. Cholera. Cholera is a deadly type of waterborne disease that is caused by the Vibrio cholerae bacterium. 28,000 to 142,000 people are killed by cholera every year. It can kill in a matter of hours and be caught by anyone. It triggers diarrhea, which heavily dehydrates the body, often to the point of death. Despite this, only 20% of people who catch cholera will actually develop symptoms, and of that 20%, 80% will experience very mild, non-life-threatening symptoms. It can also be easily treated with oral rehydration salts, which are successful 80% of the time. However, due to lack of medical treatment in affected areas, many people still die from this disease. Typhoid fever. Typhoid fever is caused by the Salmonella typhi bacteria. 5,700 Americans catch this disease each year. 75% of cases are acquired through international travel, as it is most common in non-industrialized countries. When traveling abroad, you should always be vaccinated for typhoid and avoid eating any risky foods or drinks as well. Although it may be surprising, avoiding risky foods is just as important as getting vaccinated because the vaccinations do not always work. Always boil water before you drink it or buy it bottled. Symptoms of typhoid include a high fever of 103 to 104, and weakness, stomach pains, headache, loss of appetite, and sometimes a rash of flat red spots. Guinea worm is a deadly parasite that is slowly being eradicated due to better access to clean water in remote African villages. The parasite is transmitted by drinking unfiltered water which contains fleas that carry the guinea worm larvae. Once inside the body, the larvae grow into full adult worms for the next year or so. They usually grow to about 60 to 100 centimeters long. When it is ready to come out, the worm creates a painful blister which bursts in the next 3 days. Putting the wound in water usually helps relieve the burning pain, but in remote African villages, it also contaminates water that more people will drink. Putting it in water also makes the worm come out and release a white liquid that releases millions of young larvae. The grown worm usually moves very little each day and takes weeks to come out, leaving villagers unable to do work during this period. You also cannot build immunity to guinea worm. Arsenicosis. Arsenicosis is the result of drinking water contaminated with high levels of arsenic over the years. Arsenicosis can cause many diseases and cancers of the skin, lungs, kidney, liver, bladder, and other areas. Although bathing in arsenic-rich water does not pose much of a threat, drinking it can cause many health problems. It's been shown to cause blood vessel diseases that lead to gangrene. Arsenic in water is hard to track and report because symptoms do not appear for 5 to 20 years, and by then, a whole country may have consumed this water. And this is a problem that is not far from home. The World Health Organization reports that arsenic in water has caused a concern right here in the United States. These are just a few waterborne diseases, although there are many, many more. How safe are you from these diseases? Well, you're not completely safe, but the United States has some of the best water treatment methods in the world. Although there are occasional outbreaks, you are pretty safe from waterborne disease, as long as you don't drink untreated water. Untreated water includes water that comes from a river or a lake. If you choose to drink water from a source like a river or a lake, make sure you boil it and filter it properly, and you should be safe from waterborne disease. If it's so easy to prevent, how come waterborne disease still kills so much in other countries? Many people do not have access to clean drinking water because they have to get water from natural sources like a lake or a pond, unlike here where you get it through pipes. And they do not have very good ways to treat this dirty water, which is why many are still killed by waterborne disease. The UN is currently trying to resolve the issue of clean water, but have not been able to meet the goals they have set. Their plan to reduce the number of people without access to clean water by 50% by 2015 is not estimated to be met for another 10 years. So in the meantime, what can we do to help stop the spread of disease and bring clean water to all? Well, charity organizations often do things like build dams, wells, and rain catchment tools that help third world nations receive water that is safe and clean to use. Donating to such organizations is an easy way to help, and you might save a life in the process. So now that you've learned about waterborne disease, it's time to test your knowledge. Click the link in the description or the tab right next to you to take our quiz on waterborne disease.